So, I reckon it's time that we look at the build quality, actually, as well. We want to. My bad. I'm dying. No, let's talk about build quality though. And inside of build quality, we're going to be looking at the durability, the materials used, and respectively the water resistance. So let's crack at it. In terms of durability, the Master 4 is pretty well perfected as it is compared to the previous generations. In a vacuum on its own, the wheel is more than capable of sustaining high-speed crash out of the box up to probably that top speed and still being able to kind of ride away from that. So it's not going to be cosmetically altogether just because the front end, the nose, the lights of the Master, they hang off of the frame just a bit, and so it's kind of an Achilles heel for a high-speed impact, which is why you see a lot of kits for the Begode Master include this kind of handle thing that arches over the front end light, because when it does go end over end in a high-speed crash, the light is often one of the first things to take a beating. Additionally, the rear tail light is a little bit of a it's the way that it's situated. It's fitted where you want to sit down on the wheel, and because there's no additional frame structural support, oftentimes the backlight does get cracked. I fixed that, however, by attaching the blue handles, the CNC handles. I just attached those to my wheel. So I put the small one on the back and the big one on the front, which is not how it was designed. It was a little bit tough trying to get them fitted on there. But I did that so that way I'd have this kind of wraparound to support the fait accompli that is the rear light of the Begode Master. Outside of that, it is stupid solid. The batteries have been perfected. The one that I ride does not even have the ridges in the battery packs, which makes it so much easier for mounting Velcro. Thank goodness I never had to go through that ridged nightmare. I've only seen things. I've had my own share of nightmares with Velcro, so I don't need none of that ridged box action. The kickstand's much nicer, much bigger, much more rigid. And then, when we're talking about materials used, this thing is basically a baby EX30. It's made with the chassis, with the motherboard. There's, I think, the frame, the upper frame, all of these things are of the EX30. So it's overbuilt for what it is, and that makes it amazing to me. It makes it absolutely stupendous. With regard to water resistance, that's about all that I would say, because Begode doesn't necessarily do these IP testings per se, but they have taken great lengths to ensuring the waterproofing of these wheels. So while they don't have the IP rating that other brands have, they don't have an IP rating independently themselves. They have tested and shown their wheels to be quite water resistant through any number of ridiculous measures, whether it's riding the A2 straight into the ocean or riding the Extreme like through a river. They've done their due diligence to ensure that these wheels are much, much better sealed. And as a comparison to the version 2 that I had, the motherboard is much more secure. There are gaskets everywhere. Everything seems much more methodically placed. It is a work of art when compared to the last iteration that I rode. So, regarding build quality, just because of the rear light and the the front bumper, the way that it comes out of the box, where if you get into a high speed wreck, that front end is going to suffer. You're probably going to lose your life. So outside of that, I would say that it is absolutely rough and rugged and will handle about anything that you want to throw at it. It's going to take a beating. It's going to tumble. It's going to be quite all right. And even after losing the front end, it's still going to ride. But because there is those caveats there, the rear light and the bumper on the front, I'm going to say it's maybe a 3.5 or a 3 in terms of maybe 4, 3.5, 4, something like that in terms of durability. So let's talk about the technology and features that the Master brings to the table. It's got a much bigger screen, so that makes it a lot easier to... So let's talk about the technology and features that the Master brings to the table. We got that nice 3-digit display borrowed from the EX30, looking all sassy and saucy. Of course, the Begode app has integration in both Apple and Google stores, respectively, the app stores, respectively. So there's not speakers on this thing, right? But like, I don't really care that there's not speakers. In terms of safety features and the app that they have, it's amazing. So in terms of safety features inside of the app and the progression and the work that Begode has put into this app, I cannot speak highly enough. It is so good. Okay, guys, they have given you the capacity to turn this wheel into two very, very different experiences inside of this app, and honestly a billion options in between the two drastically different experiences. But you can have a racer on-road, bad to the bone high-speed wheel, or you can have a torquey, crazy, insane, mad monster hill climbing, bad to the bone wheel. It really is entirely up to you. It is entirely up to you, and you do that all through the app. I mean, and now, like before, it was just like pedal sensitivity options and things like this, or maybe it was off-road or racing mode. But now we even have things like field weakening. So the gradient to which things can be controlled and provide the exact experience that you as a consumer wants is just absolutely insane. We now have tilt back options. We now have we've always had the alarms, but now we have tilt back baked in. So, like, be safe. Be as safe as you want to, because it's here. Like, it's all possible. It's all super duper cinch. It's, I mean, they just did a lot of great work, and they continue to do great work. As far as this app, as far as technology and the features, I am definitely smitten as a kitten with the way that it the way that they've integrated everything, and even the app. You'll see in some of the videos that I post, you can actually use the app to record with an overlay, so you can see out there everything that I'm doing when I'm riding. And that's just cool that I can create this like ride footage with this overlay. It's just super duper cool. So as far as the technology and features, I really feel like it's a 5 out of 5. um, I say that because I don't really count features that are in excess of functionality. I don't think that that's really necessarily good features to be having. So to me, for all of the functional features that are incorporated, and none of the just frivolous, fluffy stuff, we definitely get a 5 out of 5 there. Now. So now we're going to talk about some the battery and charging, with regard to the battery life, charging time, and the charging port convenience. So charging time, it doesn't seem to take long. It's not the longest, charging time that I've ever experienced, and it's not the shortest. It definitely feels like it moves along plenty fast. It's I can't really say anything in terms of a technical answer to it, but I don't feel limited by the rate at which it charges. The battery life, I think I touched on this a little bit earlier with regard to the range, but holy crap, it's just so long. And if you don't turn on the gas, you can just ride indefinitely, it feels like, for almost ever. With the 50S batteries, in theory, you should get a lot more battery life, as long as they're not being dumped at full capacity, nonstop, all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. So, with the 50S batteries, you should be doing okay. The charging port, oh my goodness, it's convenient. Same place that it was on versions 1 through 3, right there underneath the trolley handle. The gasket is hardy, or the little lip that you cover it up with, that rubber cap. It's hardy, and it seems to cover the plastic edge enough to create a nice little kind of gasket seal. And so, I feel like the charging port is crazy nice in terms of its availability and its placement. It's not cumbersome at all to get a hold of. I really like it. I rather like it quite a lot. So anyway, I hope that you've been enjoying the footage. I really have just been in love with this wheel. It has been the most absolute fun thing. I really did not know what to expect. I didn't expect this much of an uptick in the performance, nor the feel, nor just the way that it makes you feel. I just had no idea that all of the things that made this wheel great could be made greater and still provided at what feels like a bargain price. It's just insane, guys. It's just absolutely insane. So I am I'm really pleased with the Master4. So for the battery and charging, I think I'm gonna give that a I'm gonna give it a 5. There's nothing that's limiting in there, and as long as there's nothing limiting, then I can't set it back. 5 out of 5 for the technology and features as well. So it's beautiful stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for vibing yet again with your boy Johnny Go Brome. And look forward to seeing you the next time. And we got some more things to talk about with regard to the Master. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Here's my cannonball catalog, digital and analog. Looking for another head to put a mantle on. You fly, been a frog and a prince all along. World in my palm, your girl in my arm. A lot of charm and a whole lot of bars. Got a soul out of Mars. So flow and he sold out his soul for a car. I don't go for it cause I'm over the bar. Go forth with a torch in the dark. Horse is a Porsche, of course still a car. Then a horse is a force we endorse in a car. Got your head rung, the door been ajar. I'm more than a Star-Lord, orphan afar. Could have been a scar, Jafar was portioned a heart more big than a star that's a sister of ours. Out the whole universe we exist in a dot. Give that a thought. Another blues brother on a mission from God. Trying to show y'all this existence is raw. Pump both fists to the song. I'm the only fish in the pond. Owed and resolve and the motive is all. Locomotive control of the lips and the jaw. Ready rolling, my trolling is just in the job. Like a bridge that I guard on guard when I march in the dark. Better watch your remarks in a spark. They try to get your power, but it's off for the charts. Watch for the charge, it's my media right to rain rocks from the stars. I'm a god body and out of the ox and the sharks say, don't throw stones, but you're grabbing a rock. Your mascot ass and a cock. I'm the end of your world, they call me Rag and the Rock.